Fabrizio Romano drops the bomb. Arsenal could announce new center back by the end of May. Fans counting down. Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta reveals he's very close to signing £25 million La Liga star alongside Zubimendi. Arteta plans unstoppable duo. Another big day for Arsenal, and if you carry this club in your heart like we do, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because every victory, every signing, every heartbreak, we live it all together. Let's jump into today's news. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea are just three of the Premier League clubs currently in pursuit of Bournemouth star Dean Huijsen. The Gunners, the Reds, and the Blues all have scope to strengthen their ranks this summer in pursuit of more successful campaigns next time round. Arsenal will be eager to strengthen after finishing trophy-less, while Liverpool will want to compete on multiple fronts, and Chelsea will want to kick on further. All three are keen on Dean Huijsen, and Fabrizio Romano has now shared an exciting update which will be music to the Premier League trio's ears. Fabrizio Romano says Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea are pushing to complete Dean Huijsen deal by end of May. Fabrizio Romano just dropped a juicy update on his YouTube channel, and it's got Arsenal fans paying close attention, especially if you've been keeping tabs on rising talents across Europe. Apparently, Arsenal are right in the thick of the race for Dean Huijsen, and we're not alone. Liverpool and Chelsea are also pushing hard, but here's the kicker. All three Premier League giants are ahead of none other than Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Yeah, we're leading that chase right now. According to Romano, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea are all moving fast. They don't want to wait around. The plan is to get this deal wrapped up before the end of May. Like, this month, no dragging it out into the summer window. That shows you how serious the interest is. He even went on to say that the English clubs have the upper hand over Bayern and Madrid at this point. Why? Because those two aren't ready to act yet. Bayern are keen, but they've got to shift a defender first. They need to bring in some cash before they can seriously come to the table. And Real Madrid, they're tied up with bigger internal stuff. Ancelotti's on the way out. Xabi Alonso looks set to take over, and they're trying to sort that transition before going all in on any new signings. That leaves the door wide open for Arsenal to swoop in. The opportunity's there. The timing's right. Now, it's just a question of whether Edu and Arteta pull the trigger fast enough. What are Bournemouth planning to do with Dean Huijsen? According to Graham Bailey from TBR Football, Bournemouth are eager to get the transfer done ASAP so they can cash in and reinvest that money elsewhere. Makes sense. They're not competing to sign him. They just want the funds to move forward with their own plans. But here's the interesting part. Even with all this urgency from clubs, there's no real pressure being put on Huijsen himself. The £50 million rated defender is taking his time, and sources close to the situation have made it clear. He's not going to be rushed. The kid knows his worth, and he's going to make the right call when he's ready. And honestly, it's no surprise there's such a scramble for his signature. Jacek Kulig, one of the top talent spotters out there, called him the complete package. And that's not a title thrown around lightly. He's tall, technical, composed, a modern center back through and through. No wonder clubs are queuing up. TBR also reported that Huijsen's camp has already had chats with several other Premier League clubs too, including Spurs, Aston Villa, and Newcastle. So yeah, competition's heating up fast. From Arsenal's point of view, if we want him, we'll need to move quick and make a real statement. This could be one of those signings where you beat your rivals before the season even starts. Arsenal are now close to signing £25 million player from La Liga alongside Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal aren't messing about this summer, are they? The transfer window hasn't even officially opened yet, and already the club looks like it's working behind the scenes to make some serious moves. We've been hearing strong whispers about Martin Zubimendi joining the Gunners any day now. Nico Williams is also being heavily linked with a move to the Emirates. And on top of that, there's big interest in Alexander Isak as we head into the summer. But wait, there's more. According to The Independent, Arsenal are now close to sealing another deal, and this time it's for a name that might surprise a few fans. Joan Garcia from Espanyol. Yeah, that's right. Garcia was actually on Arsenal's radar last summer too, but back then, things didn't quite materialize. Instead, the club brought in Nito on loan from Bournemouth. But let's be honest, he didn't exactly light it up, did he? Now, with Aaron Ramsdale having been sold to Southampton last summer, we're clearly in need of another option between the sticks, and Garcia might just be the one Arteta's been waiting for. He's 23, young, full of potential, and he's quietly been putting in some solid performances in Spain. Most Arsenal fans fans probably haven't seen much of Espanyol lately, and fair enough. But a quick look at Garcia's stats paints an interesting picture. He actually has a better save percentage than David Raya, and when it comes to expected goals prevented, he's outperforming Raya by a fair margin. Sure, Raya still edges him in short passing accuracy, but when we're talking about long ball distribution, Garcia's the one coming out on top. So now the question becomes, is this just a move for a backup goalkeeper, or are we witnessing another one of Arteta's bold calls? Like we saw with Leno, then with Ramsdale, and now maybe with Raya. Because let's be honest, Arteta's not afraid to shake things up if he believes it makes the team stronger, and if Garcia's being brought in now, it might not just be to sit on the bench. Things are heating up, and this summer window could be one of the most important for Arsenal in years. Chris Sutton agrees with Ian Wright over the biggest problem at Arsenal right now. Arsenal have a lot of soul searching to do in the wake of a season that promised so much and ultimately delivered little. The Gunners were hoping to make it third time lucky in the Premier League title race and also go far in the cups. Arsenal ultimately fell short in the Premier League title race, with the Champions League becoming their main focus for the campaign. However, the Gunners couldn't get the better of Paris Saint-Germain, who advanced to the final at Arsenal's expense. Chris Sutton has now shared what he thinks is the biggest problem at Arsenal right now, which is similar to what Ian Wright has said. Chris Sutton blames Arsenal recruitment over past 12 months. Alright Gooners, let's talk about what's really been holding us back this season. Look, a few days ago on the Righty's House podcast, Ian Wright, absolute legend by the way, has made something very clear. He's not blaming Arteta or the players for the fact we're finishing the season without silverware. And honestly, fair enough. Instead, Wrighty pointed the finger at something a lot of us have been thinking for a while. Recruitment, specifically the lack of quality additions over the past year. He said it himself, when we were chasing the game in the Champions League semi-final, we had nobody to bring off the bench to make a difference. That's not on the manager, that's on whoever's holding the purse strings. That's why Wrighty's hoping Andrea Berta, the man expected to shake things up, is ready to get serious this summer. Like he said, we're just 3 or 4 key signings away from actually winning the Premier League and maybe even the Champions League. And now, Chris Sutton has echoed that same concern. In his latest column for the BBC, he called out our recruitment too. He reckons not signing a proper striker last summer was a massive miss. And when you think about it, he's got a point. We literally tried to get Ollie Watkins from Villa in January, which kind of screams, yeah, we know we messed up last summer, Sutton put it bluntly. The fine margins at the top level mean you need that killer in front of goal, someone who buries those chances when it really matters. And let's be honest, this squad, as strong as it is, just didn't have that clinical edge when it counted most. So now we've got to regroup, refocus, and as Sutton said, we've still got to lock in second place. Can't afford to let that slip after everything. But more importantly, this summer has to be different. No more half measures, no more almost signings. We need real reinforcements, players who can walk into this team and make a difference on day one, because the foundation is there. We've seen it, but if we want to actually lift a trophy next season, the board's got to back Arteta properly. It's time to stop playing safe and start thinking like champions. And that wraps up today's biggest Arsenal news. If you enjoyed the update and want to stay on top of everything happening with the Gunners, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, Arsenal!